Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our City of Falls Church April 2025 Town Hall. If you have not muted your mic yet, please do. For all presenters today, after you speak, please do mute your mics as well, and also be prepared for a Q&A. We are going to do Q&A in two ways today for each of our speakers. The first one is you can raise your hand and get called on, or you can put it in the chat at any time. As always, following our town hall today, Maggie will send out notes and any attachments from this. You can also always find our documents from the town halls, the recordings, the agenda, and the presentation and the notes, all located on the P drive under communications, town halls, and then filed by each month. I'm going to quickly run through the agenda with y'all before handing it over to our city manager. Today we have a couple of updates from the city manager's office, followed by our category of the how-to for city employees, where HR, OCOMs, and the city manager's office will give some updates. We have Laura Arsenault giving us a big project update on the Quim Home Stretch site plan approval, which is exciting because we haven't had this one on a town hall in the last year. Then we have colleagues that are going to quickly go through and let you know about some exciting events that the city is hosting in the month of April, followed by a look ahead for the rest of the month and into May on events that are for city staff and any reminders. All right, let's get started. And so I invite our city manager to do the welcome to new employees.
Well, thank you, Mary Catherine, and good morning, everybody. Can you all hear me? Okay, thumbs up. Well, we've got some exciting new additions to the city workforce, and I'm very pleased to welcome Amanda Stout-Brain, who joined us yesterday as our Director of Public Works. Also in Public Works, we have Pedro Saravia, a mechanic, is joining us, Lydia Mooney, urban forester, and Adelaide Saavedra, maintenance worker. So great additions to our Public Works team. We're really excited to have them come on board. And I know Mary Catherine's excited and Maggie's excited. We're all excited. Joshua Supranant will be joining us as our web manager for the city. And this week is Emergency Communications Technicians Appreciation Week. And we're celebrating by welcoming Jessica Javahirian to join our 911 dispatch team. And that's just a crucial team for the city. So welcome, Jessica. Welcome all of our new employees. I'm going to shift then to talk about some of our budget updates and kind of the big news that we discussed yesterday morning at our Leadership Connections meeting, and we discussed on Friday with the City Council's Budget and Finance Committee, is that as we're sort of taking in all of the news about the federal government, about layoffs in the federal government, about cuts in federal contracting, we have been participating in a lot of regional efforts to understand what those impacts might be for the City of Falls Church. And we're also looking at our own data of what's happening with local taxes. And the bottom line is that our leading indicators, meals tax receipts and sales tax receipts, are coming in below our current year, our FY25 budget forecast. We did, with this year's budget, estimate really strong growth in a lot of these local tax revenues because we've got a lot of new things happening in the city. We have 2 new hotels that have come online. We have a new Whole Foods store that's just open. So it's very appropriate for us to account for those revenues. And those new revenues are coming in from that economic development. And we're also seeing, we think, that community members are being more careful with their spending. And so that's showing up in our sales tax and our meals tax receipts. So we are watching those numbers, and we've working with Kieran Bawa and our finance team have announced to the City Council that we're revising down our revenue forecast for FY26, the next year's budget, by $1.2 million. So the city council is expecting both the general government and the schools to come back to the city council with changes to our proposed budgets to reflect that that downward revision to our revenue estimates. So $600,000 for the general government, $600,000 for the schools. The city council did do first reading on all of our tax ordinances last night. They did not advertise a tax rate at $1.18 which for those who attended the employee town hall meeting back in early April, that was the original proposal, is to cut the tax rate by 2.5 cents to mitigate some of the impacts of increased assessments on our homeowners in the city. So the city council approved a first reading at $1.21 to give itself some flexibility to meet the revised revenue forecast. I think we should all anticipate that the city council still will be seeking to lower the tax rate and to lower the impact on homeowners. If there's no change in the rate, the average homeowner, the median homeowner in the city would experience about a $700 increase in their bill this year, whereas a 2.5 cent reduction would have about a $400 increase for your median homeowner in the city. So the city council's viewing the budget through that lens, which is always an important lens, alongside what we need as an organization to meet the growth that's happening in the city. So that's the challenge that's before us. We'll be working together to come up with some solutions to this and some recommendations to the city council. We'll begin that dialogue with the council on the work session on the 21st. We'll follow up again on the 28th with some additional thinking, and then the council will do what we call its markup at work session on May 4th, and then final adoption on May 12th. So that's an update on finances. And one of the things that the council is also working on is a solid waste fee. And so we'll be working together with Lonnie and Herb and our team here with finance. Andy's been doing a lot of work on this with us as well to present some recommendations to the city council. At last night's meeting, we did have a lot of people show up advocating for the solid waste fee. And so that is something that the council is hearing a lot from the community. So we'll continue to work on options for that. I have been recommending a study period where we take the next year to study options to design a fee that will work well for us and we'll have time to communicate it. I'm getting sort of a signal from the city council that they were probably more inclined to take action with this year's budget adoption on May 12th. But we'll work through that and come up with the best solutions that we can and provide our best recommendations to the city council. So Mary Catherine, that's my report on finances. I do want to just note also that, and I don't know if this is, I don't know if this is on the agenda, but I do want to give a plug for Jack Trainer and Akita Ruzzi and Sally Gillette, who are kind of our three leaders on the accessory dwellings ordinance. And the city council adopted it last night with a unanimous vote and made some compromises at the end, sort of tweaked some of the setbacks for accessory dwellings. But I think the council and staff worked together for a really good process this time and produced a good result. So homeowners will have a new option to build detached accessory dwellings on their lots. So for a building safety team, I would expect that there'll be some building permits coming in to request those, and that'll be a new thing in the city. So that's my report today. A big thank you to our whole CPEDS team. Gary Fuller stepped in when Paul stepped aside. Gary's just been a great, steady leader for the whole planning team, and they're doing great things. We're going to hear later in this meeting from Laura about the Quinn project, but those are just a couple examples of great things that team is doing. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Wyatt. Does anyone have any questions for our city manager before we move to our next agenda item? Give it a beat. And while we're doing that, I'd like to ask Jenny, Carol, and Joe Carter to get ready for next on the agenda. We have the city organizational mission, vision values event update.
Good morning.
Morning. Jenny, do you want me to talk or are you going to talk?
You can talk.
Okay. So good morning, everyone. As I hope you're aware, because Jenny's done a really good job communicating this throughout the organization to leadership, that on April 24th, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. At Columbia Baptist Church at 103 West Columbia Street, the city is going to be hosting a mission, vision, values brainstorming session with the Virginia Institution of Governments. Just to kind of give you a reminder how this transpired was from our facilitated sessions we had leading into our employee survey action plan team. This was something that was a high value for us to get done in the city to make sure that everyone was on the same page of where we were going. And we had values in place that we can hold each other accountable for. So we hope everybody attends. If you do attend, this is what you should expect. Once again, we've teamed with the Virginia Institution of Governments, and they've done a lot of work with our leadership teams, and still do work with our leadership teams here in the city. They're going to be setting up sessions for different brainstorming sessions that fall under the vision or the mission, vision, and values. What they're going to do from there is they're going to take all of that information that we give them as an organization, and they're going to put a mission, vision, value statement together for us that we will bring back to the organization in multi different ways to be transparent so that we can build a mission, vision, value statement that represents everyone in the organization, not just from top down, but bottom up. Lunch will be provided. We do ask, Jenny and I, that you tell us who's going to be there and how many people. And if there are any dietary restrictions, we want to have that all squared away. Those emails are starting to trickle in, but we would ask that you would get them to us as soon as possible because we anticipate it's going to be a lot of logistics to get that lunch put together and make sure who we're getting it from, we give them plenty of time to prepare that for us. Parking will be available. Go ahead, Jenny. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say an email went to department heads asking for a head count of staff who are attending and also if there are dietary needs or restrictions as well. So, and the expected return of that from department heads is Wednesday. So if those of you can pull that together and send that to us, that would be great.
And Jenny, we have a question in the chat. Do you need
Sure.
the names of who's attending or just the head count?
I think the names are always helpful. So that would be great. I think everybody who's emailed me back has told me names.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
All right, and I have a question about parking.
Yeah.
And where we go. So the Columbia Baptist campus is pretty large. Will you all be able to send directions in advance so that we know exactly where to go and park and such?
Yeah, we'll send everything in advance. What I was going to say about parking is, although parking is available on site, we are asking that if it is a nice day outside, try to take a stroll, right? If you're unable to do that, try to ride share as much as you can. What we're trying to do is limit the impact on Columbia Baptist Church as much as we can because they do have a school that they offer there at the same time. And they are giving us the building for free. So we're trying to lessen the impact as much as we can. But yeah, we will send the logistics of everything out so that people have a heads up of where they need to go and where we're holding the training. What to prepare for? review the meeting invite on your calendars. That should give you some information, some basic information, but like I just said, more information will follow. And also, as Jenny said, about tomorrow, Wednesday, we just received another email today from the Virginia Institution of Governments. They send out a survey, a 2-question survey, that they would like all employees to answer, to kind of give us at least a heads up on, where they kind of think the organization is kind of in the direction of going, when it comes to, values and stuff like that. So please take about 30 seconds of your time to answer that and get that back in. The date, the last day to do that, like I said, will be tomorrow, Wednesday, April 16th. So please take time to do that. Jenny, I will turn it back to you in case I missed anything.
And those, for those employees who don't have access to their email accounts every day, please talk with your supervisor to have that access during your workday so that you can complete the survey. And I feel like there was one other thing. So as Joe said, we'll send out an email that has the parking information, lunch information, and then the agenda as well. And look for that probably the beginning of next week.
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you, Joe, for that. And as you all have seen, any questions you have, you can send them to both Jenny and Joe. And I hope everybody does get a chance to complete those actions on time. This is going to be an awesome experience. Doing these exercises doesn't happen that often for an organization, and I'm really excited that I get to be here for this. Next, I want to welcome Rebel from our IT team. Rebel is going to present a video during this section, and it is around 7 minutes. We do want you to stay on and stay tuned in throughout that. And so I will hand it off to Rebel now to introduce his section. Rebel.
Good morning, everybody. I hope you are doing well. I'm going to be the project lead for the Windows 11 upgrade, so I'm excited to present you guys all Windows 11. We are thrilled to bring this upgrade to the city. It features more of a modern user interface, more security, and better productivity tools to help you work smarter, not harder. And I hope you guys are also excited for Windows 11. And here in the next slide, we'll have a sort of like a 7-minute video and telling what your first day of Windows 11 is going to be like.
All right, I'm going to play this video. For this, if you have any questions, if you'll put them in the chat or follow up with Rebel after the presentation. Thank you. Rebel, you'll let me know if you can hear the sound.
Hi, everyone. My name is Thomas
Good to
Trombley,
meet.
Windows Servicing and Delivery team here at Microsoft. I frequently work with commercial customers, and when it comes to upgrading from Windows 10 to 11, some fear the transition has the potential to create anxiety and frustration, and slow down productivity for that matter. With Windows 11, we have prioritized security and a modern design with more freedom to customize your device to work for your specific needs. Working in a fast-paced environment, you may not have the time to search for tips and how-tos. You just want it to work. Well, I'd like to help. Has your cheese moved, been enhanced, or in some cases been removed? Well, in this short video, I'll walk through the essentials in Windows 11 and talk about how things have changed since Windows 10. The goal is to help you get the most out of intuitive navigation and multitasking capabilities in Windows 11, so you can work productively from anywhere, anytime. So without further ado, let's get rolling. Let's talk about what's changed in Windows 11. Starting with the taskbar. One of the first things you'll notice is that the taskbar has shifted to the center of your screen and features application icons without labels. I don't know about you, but I often use a large monitor or multi-monitor situation at work or at home, and this feature scales nicely as I open more applications. If you love the way it was in Windows 10 though, guess what? Simply right-click in the taskbar and select Taskbar Settings to position it to the left. Now let's talk about the Start menu. Once you've aligned the taskbar to your liking, you'll quickly notice changes to the Start menu, which now reflects a cleaner, more streamlined, and organized look. App tiles have been eliminated, and power settings have shifted down there to the right. In addition, we've dropped some intelligence in there aligned with your calendar and workday. Need a file for that upcoming meeting? Chances are associated files will pop up aligned to the specific upcoming topic. On the right of the taskbar, we took away the cluttered Windows 10 visuals and updated or streamlined the Action Center, which includes the quick settings, notifications, and a new Focus Assist feature. At the very bottom right, you'll notice the notification icon, which behaves in similar fashion to Windows 10. You'll occasionally see a circle notification to get your attention concerning system performance or reminders. It's meant to be discreet and in just the right place. Within the notifications icon, you'll see at the bottom that Focus Assist is shortened to Focus. This new button provides more options than the off, priority only, and alarms only that were featured before. Here, once you adjust the time and hit play on Focus, it'll take you to the Clock app, where you can expand the window to full view. You can then customize the goals and tasks that you want to accomplish in a focus session. Heading back to the taskbar, and slightly to the left of the notifications, there's the Quick Settings menu, which is accessed by clicking on the connectivity, volume, or battery icon. If you have touchscreen, you can simply swipe up on the system tray. Here, you'll still have access to similar Windows 10 settings, except that now you can customize them by pinning your favorite ones to this menu. Skipping over to the File Explorer, moving files is made easier by using the new Tab feature. Just press the plus sign at the top, pick a folder, then drag and drop between tabs. Another thing you'll notice are the new icons when you right-click a document. We've organized the old menu so that commonly used actions are at the very top. But if you miss the older look, you can click Show More Options on the same menu. The task view changes are short and sweet, with a simplified redesign of the icon and the view of multiple desktops located at the bottom rather than at the top when managing views. A bonus feature within the virtual desktops is the ability to customize wallpapers and personalize each virtual desktop. For easier Windows management and organization, we offer you the Snap Layouts and Snap Groups. You don't have to manually snap windows, again, unless you want to. Simply hover over the Minimize, Maximize icon or press Windows logo key plus Z to open Snap Layout templates. To see more Snap Layout templates, drag the minimized window to the top of the screen. Another neat trick when working on a specific task, snap 2 or more open apps or windows to create a snap group. When you want to get back to the snap group later, hover over one of your open apps in the taskbar to find it. Ease of access was discreetly hidden in the bottom of settings, so we wanted to make it more convenient to find by moving it to the Quick Settings menu, where you'll see its new name, Accessibility. Here, you can turn on narrator, live captions, sticky keys, and more. This is one of my favorites, Snipping Tool. Moving on to the Snipping Tool, you can do more than just screenshot. Introducing the new Record option. Simply select an area and hit the video cam icon. You'll also find that the Snipping Tool automatically saves your screenshots. To access them, you can select See More, Open Screenshots folder. Glorious. Lastly, going into the Start menu, Windows 10 would just add widgets from the app list. Now you can gain control of what widgets you'd like to be shown or hidden from. You can personalize the news, weather, calendar, and other information at a glance just through the taskbar settings. We hope this gets you well on your way and acquainted with Windows 11. Look for future updates and enhancements as part of Microsoft's regular updates throughout the product lifecycle. As always, we encourage you to ask questions, post below, or to subscribe to our channel. If there are additional user interface topics you'd like to learn more about in the future, please let us know in the comments section below. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.
All right. Thank you so much, Rebel, for sharing that.
Oh, of course, yeah. So, yeah, as you guys can see, there's not too many big changes. So, it shouldn't be too daunting. A few of you guys already have Windows 11. But yeah, that was basically Windows 11 in action, and that's like probably what's going to be the biggest things you would probably address on your first day. But let's talk about what's next, like our next steps. So here we have the project timeline. It's going to be from April to October of this year. Your department, of course, will be having communication initially before we start deploying computers, so I wouldn't worry about just it being random. Coming up soon, we're also going to have some introduction sessions with Windows 11 on the 22nd of April, and then on the 29th of April, we're going to have the Office 365 overview as well. So that should be very helpful for you guys. And if you guys have any questions or need help along the way, just feel free to reach out to IT support at cfcsupport@fallschurchva.gov. I did post a link in the chat as well for the YouTube video if you guys want to take a look at that as well on your off time. But yeah, that's basically Windows 11, and yeah, there it is. Hope you guys are excited for it.
Thank you so much, Rebel. Since there
course.
are upcoming sessions that are really soon for training, have folks received those invites, or will we be receiving those soon?
Not as of yet, but you guys will receive those sometime this week.
Great. Thank you very much. And I'm sure, like me, others are going to look forward to one-on-one support for those tricky changes. It is really nice to see this overall overview before we get started. So really appreciate you sharing with us today. All right. Next, I'm going to turn over to HR and ask Megan DeSell to give us some updates from her department.
Thanks so much, Mary Catherine. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thumbs up. Here we are, open enrollment. It's coming up. It'll be here before we know it. May 1st through 15th is when you can make changes to your health insurance plan. You can add or remove people from your list of dependents. You can change the plan option that you have for your health care, and any changes you make will be effective July 1st, 2025, the start of the new plan year. This is also the important time to enroll or re-enroll in the flexible spending accounts. Those flexible spending accounts are a way for you to have more take-home pay because you are using pre-tax dollars to pay for things you're going to buy anyway. Your medical supplies, over-the-counter, prescription co-pays, doctor's visits, all of those can be purchased with the medical flexible spending account. There's also the dependent care flexible spending account, which is used as a reimbursement with pre-tax money, your pre-tax money for dependent care expenses for caring for children under the age of 13 during the workday or elder care during the workday. So again, re-enrolling in that flexible spending account during open enrollment is crucial if you want to have the benefit in the next plan year. What's exciting is we're going to have Pierce Insurance come on site to help you with enrolling in the flexible spending accounts and also talking to you about other supplemental insurance options that you have, like short-term disability, cancer insurance, accident insurance, a whole slew of options you have for supplemental plans that you can purchase through a payroll deduction. Those meetings with Pierce Insurance, you'll see those coming out soon. It'll be between May 5th and May 7th on site, both at City Hall, the library. We're going to have them at the property yard. So you'll be able to meet with the benefits counselor one-on-one. Also, on May 1st, Thursday, May 1st, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the Dogwood Room, we're going to have a benefits fair. So all of our, several of our vendors are going to be there. You can go up, get your swag, ask your questions. Our health insurance providers, Apple Federal Credit Union, our EAP provider, All One Health, they're going to be there. Invest 529, we've got more people, more vendors that are signing up as well. I encourage everybody to take a look at Employee Corner. where all of our open enrollment materials have been updated. We've got a guidebook that goes through the new rates for the health plan and the different types of coverage, how you use the different types of coverage that we have through the local choice. So follow that link, fallschurchva.gov, open enrollment for benefits. It's under Employee Corner. I'll put the link in the chat in a moment. Yeah, this is a big deal, so I hope everyone's got it on their calendar. More information is coming from HR. A huge thanks to Chris for getting all of our materials updated online, and stay tuned for even more information. And
Thank you so much. Oops.
Yeah, I was just going to say I welcome any questions. Anyone wants to raise their hand or put something in the chat.
Does anyone have any questions for Megan? And of course, they can follow up directly with you over email or schedule appointments.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Absolutely.
I don't see any hands. I don't see any questions in the chat. So we're going to keep early along. Thank you very much, Megan. Our next agenda item is from OCOM. This is a very brief overview of a new resource for staff, which is located on the P Drive in communications and then in media relations. Coming to the city this past year, Maggie and I worked together and with Wyatt to develop some basic helpful tips for staff when the media reach out to us or when we need to reach out to the media. Most of the guidance that has been put together is reactive, so the media reaches out to us directly, and many departments have been actually using this as we've been contacted from different news outlets over the last few months. But I wanted to share a little bit of highlights today and one big takeaway overall. So the role of OCOM is to promote, protect, and defend the city. And some of the ways we do that is through proactive and reactive media relations, working with media outlets. Over in the blue box on here, you'll see some examples of the type of news outlets that we work with. Now, the fun thing about media relations is there are laws that proper news outlets have to actually adhere to. Things like doing corrections when they put the information in incorrectly, following the cues of on the record, off the record. And so in the media relations guidance, that is included in there and goes over that. I am happy to meet with any department and go over these directly with you. But I think the tips and best practices bring it all within one big action, which is if you receive outreach from the media, contact OCOMs, bring us in so that we can help guide you through that experience. I will take any questions in person or over a Teams meeting at any point. You can always approach me and Maggie regarding media relations. It does not matter the time, date, situation. We are always here to help. So instead of taking questions now, I'll ask that you come to us directly, and we can hold media relations training for staff upon request as well. With that, I'm going to hand back over to Jenny Carroll to go through the next agenda item. Jenny?
Thanks, Mary Catherine. Looking at the Employee Survey Action Plan priorities and also the Social Equity Action Team priorities and actions, I'd like to make this a regular touch base with employees during employee town hall. And if something needs to go in the Chronicle, it'll go there as well. So all of the items that have been recommended to leadership and to the organization to follow through on. And so my goal is to eventually have a table or a chart that goes out to employees on a regular basis saying where we are in the process of the different action items and plans. And so Mary Catherine has taken a look at what I have so far, and I hope to get that out soon. So to follow up, this is not the chart, but where we are now on a couple of the high priority items that came out of that work group were the city's organizational mission, vision, and values. That is in process, and we're looking to have that completed in the May-June timeframe. Once again, I'll just highlight it. please complete the survey by April 16th. It's really important to get all employee feedback. I do want to stress that this is for all employees, every single employee in the city, to attend the event on April 24th. I don't want there to be any confusion. This is for all employees. We do recognize that there are some employees who will have to be present, such as the police department. There could be some people in Department of Public Works as well, and Aurora House, places such as that, who need to remain at the job site. We want their feedback as well, so please fill out the value survey. So once again, all employees are encouraged to attend this event on the 24th. Next is the city strategic plan. That was, I believe that was the second item, the second priority in that came out of the work groups recommendations. That was completed, and we talked about that at the last employee town hall and communicated out. Those are living documents, both the city council strategic priorities and initiatives, and then the internal initiatives. Those were provided through email as PDFs to all employees, and we encourage people to refer back to them when looking at their internal department strategic plan. When you're completing work, how does that connect back to those two documents that we are utilizing as we move through this year? Leadership communication, that is in process and ongoing. One of those items, and I didn't pull up the spreadsheet that I had been looking at. I will come back to that. Telework administrative regulation, that is in process. I believe it was with the city attorney to review, and then it will go out again for another 30-day employee review. Excuse me. And then, pardon, I have a frog in my throat. When it comes to IT upgrades, that is an ongoing process. And actually, you saw evidence of the IT department following through on that recommendation from the Employee Survey Action Plan work group, which was essentially to communicate early and often when there are IT upgrades happening that either affect the department or in particular, or affect the city organization as a whole. So you just heard from Rove Bell about the Windows 11 project that is coming up, and they have other events that are planned in which there will be information communicated as well. So look forward to that, and I am getting my table up for leadership communication because there were several items that were under that. So one of them was the DEI and B culture training. So to touch base on that, that was included in the Virginia Institute of Government's leadership training that all department heads took in between 23 and 24. I think we finished in 24. And then cohort 2 started midway through 2024, and they will be finishing up in May of this year for that particular training. DEI and B information and training was included in each of those cohorts. Sorry, stumbling over myself. The Managers Academy, it was recommended to continue that, so that will be in process. Looking at what will be provided in terms of training around that. So look forward to continuing that training as well. So once again, this will probably be a regular agenda item to keep employees updated on what we're doing as it relates to both the Employee Survey Action Plan and also the Social Equity Action Team internal communication recommendations. So, and please look forward to a table or a chart that has all of this in a condensed version. So thank you, Mary Catherine, and thank you to everybody. Yeah, and also thank you to everybody who has participated in the survey already to date. and look forward to hearing from all of you around the values that we should look to incorporate into our mission, vision, and values.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Jenny. Folks, if you do
Sure.
have any questions for Jenny, you can always follow up with her directly. You can also put some messages in the chat for her to answer as we go. But I am going to keep moving because we have a couple of events to highlight before we close out our session today. And so next we have Laura telling us about the big project update for the Quinn and Homestretch project. Laura.
Hi, I'm Laura Arsenault. I'm a principal planner with CPEDS. Just a quick update. I have one slide on this, although it probably deserves more than that. But just a quick update. This is the Quinn and Homestretch application. It's located at 303 South Maple Avenue in the southwestern part of the city. It was originally approved by City Council in February of 2024, and this is kind of a year later, but it has the site plan approval now, which means all the engineering's been done, and it's kind of moving forward on its next step. So that's the next step in kind of the development process. So that was approved by the Planning Commission on March 19th. And the project, as you see in the picture, is still going to be as council approved it, with 10 stories, 115 feet. And kind of the major changes from council's approval was the architecture changed a little bit from the approval. And I don't have a comparison for you, but I can tell you it looks a little bit better than it was from the special exception. And a couple of kind of layout changes from council approval, including on Maple Avenue is kind of more pedestrian friendly than it was with the council approval, and they moved some of the loading and garage spaces to Washington Street, which is a little bit busier street, so we like that change. And they redesigned the plaza. So those are the big changes that kind of came up. And just a heads up for next steps for our group, we'll be looking for bond submissions from the developer. And they've told us that they're looking for kind of anticipated construction starting in Q4 of 2025. So potential demolition and kind of that starting later on this year. So just to change, you'll see some kind of action maybe starting later this year. So just wanted heads up on that project.
Laura, thank you so much for that update. This is one of those projects I knew was moving forward, but didn't know the detail on. So appreciate you taking the time today. Does anyone have any questions for Laura? We'll wait for a second as we start to introduce the next one. Laura, would you be all right if people reached out to you directly if they had any questions?
Of course. Yes.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This is really exciting. I'm looking forward to seeing this in the future. I realize we're quite a while away, but it's an exciting update to know that it's been approved. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Our next one, we're going to get into what we are calling a Super Saturday in the city. This coming Saturday, we have a number of events, and I'm going to hand off to Corey Payne to take us through one of the city's favorite annual traditions, which is the egg hunt.
Hello, everybody. It's the egg hunt. It's returning. Big Saturday coming up. Cherry Hill Park. You want to make sure you get there early. We're starting activities. We're starting fun, 9:15 a.m. The hunt is on at 10 a.m. We have the ages divided up, different age groups. So we have our 0 to 3-year-olds in the kind of the central, right by the barn. Our what's left, 4 to 6-year-olds are a little further towards the parking lot by the picnic pavilion. And then the older ones, the 7 to 11, are further back in the park. But that'll all be very clearly posted when you and the masses get there. But make sure you get there early. That's the big thing this year. The community center parking lot will be closed this year for the safety of everyone involved, just because there is so much going on that Saturday. So 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. Again, that community center parking lot, and of course the lot in front of City Hall will be closed for the farmers market. So arrive early, park in public spaces, go to the Kaiser Garage, find some good street parking, and plan to walk on over. But we're going to have lots of fun things. Egg hunt itself, the hunt. But we'll also have music, face painting, there'll be crafts. You can get pictures of Mr. and Mrs. Bunny. And who wouldn't want to see the magic show? 10:30, right in front of the barn. Be there. That's what I got.
You really know how to sell it, Corey. It's fantastic. I have participated in the egg hunt several years, and it is so much fun. So many people love it. This year, though, I am turning out for Arbor Day, which is going on around the same time in the same event space. So I'm going to run through quickly because I don't think Charles was able to join us today. The who, what, where, when, how, and why of Arbor Day in the city. So the city continues to be a Tree City, USA, and there's going to be a bit of a celebration as Arbor Day and the Egg Hunt are on the same day this year. The city is partnering with VPIS to provide saplings to anyone who shows up to the farmers market to get those, along with the tree of the year, which is the swamp chestnut oak. Ooh. They'll also be handing out chokeberry black and eastern white pine, redbud, swamp white oak, sweet batty, magnolia, and wafer ash, and a white dogwood. And I'm excited for that. In addition to handing those out to folks who roll up to the market, they're going to do a flag raising at 11 a.m. and then they're going to go over to Cherry Hill Park and plant within the park in the back corner where there's the grove. One of the things that's really cool about this activity is while we have a lot of residents that have property they can plant on, we do have a lot of residents that don't. And so this gives them the opportunity to come by, select a sapling, and proceed back and be actively part of Arbor Day doing their planting themselves. So the key times for that is that they'll be at the booth in the farmers market from 9 a.m. to 11:30, and then they will have the flag raising at 11 with some speakers. And then from 11:30 to 1:30, there'll be the planting in the back grove. So this is really exciting. And then finally, my favorite, Maggie's already laughing at me for this, Saturday is also Mulch Mania start. Our DPW crew has been working to get all of the leaves turned into mulch, which goes out to our residents that they're able to actually use the mulch. I'm a huge fan of this. Mulch is really expensive, and I'm really excited. I know I'm probably the most excited person in the city about that one. All right, going on with staying green. We have for our next presentation, Earth Day with Kurt. Kurt, on to you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Earth Day is right around the corner. It's on next Tuesday, April 22nd. And this year, the city will be taking to social media to highlight how employees are celebrating Earth Day. So I'm encouraging all city employees to send in a photo of yourself taking an environmentally friendly action to be shared online. So to do so, we're asking that you take a photo and send it to me by Friday, the 18th, which is this Friday. And along with the photo, please send in your name, department, and why taking that picture and doing that action is important to you. So this can be anything that's environmentally friendly, like recycling, biking, going plastic free, composting, planting trees, conserving energy and water. Anything you do that is good for you and good for the planet, we'd love to see it and celebrate it online. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Kurt. It's really exciting to see this partnership, this idea from you, and then this partnership with Maggie to get everyone so involved. Next, I am going to hand off to Holly to give us a little preview of Falls Church Art Day if Holly was able to join us. Holly, are you on?
I'm here, yes. So Falls Church Arts Day is going to be Saturday. I don't know why I put April 25th. Saturday, April 26th. From 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the farmhouse in Cherry Hill Park. There will be I think we have actually like 45 artists slotted to be selling their work. There will be performances happening in the back patio of the farmhouse. We're going to set some chairs up so people will be able to watch. As well, just overall enjoy the live music performances and the art around them. The rain date is on May 3rd. However, if the weather doesn't cooperate for whatever reason on the 26th. But yeah, keep it short and sweet.
Thanks so much, Holly. And we're looking forward to partnering with you to get out more promotions for this. It's really exciting. The art scene in Falls Church is one of the things that I love most about the city, and I'm looking forward to it. All right, next, Corey's going to give a quick update on the fitness challenge. We're about halfway through the month, and this has been a great partnership this year between the EDO and Corey and Rec and Parks. And so that quick update is going to be a fun one.
Hello, me again. We've got our Falls Church Fitness Challenge is underway. We're almost halfway. We are halfway through the challenge, April 30th. Halfway. There is still plenty of time to participate. Anyone in the city who works for the city is eligible to participate. You just go pick up a passport. They're all over City Hall. I've seen them myself. They're also online. If you go to that visit fallschurch.com/fallschurchfit, they're on the website. You can print your own, but they're everywhere. It's open to residents, again, city, all of us, school employees to get in on the fun. All of it's supposed to be free and out in the community. And that, speaking of that, the prize pickup window is going to open here next week. We have good prizes, so they just came in the mail. I just looked at them all. We have our open, or I guess I don't want to say bottom tier, but the first tier is the Falls Church Fitness Challenge decal. That's if you complete 6 challenges. Then if you go on to the 18, which is the midway, you get the little city sock, very fashionable. Don't want to miss out. And if you complete not all challenges, but there's 36 total, so you complete 32 of the challenges, you get the coveted City of Falls Church Fitness duffel. Very nice, good for the gym, good for work, whatever occasion. But that pickup will start next week. It's going to go through April 21st through May 2nd, and you can either pick it up here at Parks in our trailers at Oak Street Elementary or the library at their service desk. They're generously going to help us assist in getting those prizes up. Just some fun facts. We have been hosting pop-up fitness events. So we've had different businesses come to the parks and to do little free demos. There's 10 left. There's one on Wednesday, Orange Theory. I don't know exactly what time, but Orange Theory in the evening is going to be at one of the parks. And there's 9 other opportunities coming up. There's also 23 businesses that just have special offers ongoing throughout the challenge. So check it out. Still plenty of time. I hope you get a pair of socks.
Thanks so much, Corey. That's a fun update. My kids have been filling out their cards, and now that I'm looking at mine, I feel like I could check a heck of a lot off on here as well and get those socks too. I don't know. I am excited that this year there's the partnership with businesses, so big thank you to the EDO for incorporating that. And then also this new focus on mental health and wellness as well. That's been an exciting change as the city has taken what was previously a competition with other jurisdictions, internal, and I think really made it our own. All right, we are in our final stretch, folks, and I'd like to first invite Megan DeSell to give us an update on Employee of the Year. Megan.
Thanks again. Happy to be back. So, you heard me announce earlier this year that we had 5 nominations for Employee of the Year, which was really fantastic. The sad news is that we don't have a quorum for our Employee Review Board, and that's essential to select the Employee of the Year. The Employee Review Board is a 3-member board made up of residents of the City of Falls Church. No experience is necessary, and right now we only have 1 member on the Employee Review Board. So HR is brainstorming ways we can recruit, get some interest from the community to serve on this important board so that we can have an Employee of the Year selected this year. The timeline on that is still in flux, but if we can get someone, get a public meeting posted and held, the selection made, hopefully we can have a celebration this summer. It's not the best news, but we still have an amazing group of nominees. So we'll be celebrating them a little bit longer before we celebrate the winner.
Thank you so much, Megan, for that update. As you'll see for the rest of this sort of heads up events and reminders, a lot of this is things that we've talked about throughout the presentations today. I do want to turn though to Danny Schlitt and ask Danny, our heads of Rec and Parks, to give us an update on our next employee event on May 6th, bowling. Danny,
All
are you
right.
able to share?
If you can hear me, I'm here. Good morning, almost afternoon to everybody. Just a real quick plug in regard to some of the events that both the EAC and the Fun Bunch are putting together is that there will be a brief survey. Yes, another survey for everybody to, but a very quick one. And we'd like people's input. What we're looking for is expanding the events that we can offer to city employees and see how willing folks might be to try some different things. So a quick survey will come out in the very near future. Take just a minute or two to do that. That'd be great. And then for the announcement, I think most folks have already been given a little bit of a heads up, but I just want to make sure everybody goes to their calendar right now and schedules themselves to be at the bowling alley on Maple Avenue, Bolero now, at 1 p.m. on Tuesday, May 6th. There'll be some snacks, drinks, and bowling, and just some overall fun for everybody. And hopefully people are enjoying all the events. I thought the last few months have been great with the Super Bowl and the Pie Day activities that the EAC has put together, and then the Fun Bunch planning some good stuff through the summer. Other upcoming events for this year. We're looking forward to getting some word from the Washington Nationals as far as a Nationals night at the ballpark for employees. And so we've got some other fun things coming, but next one on your calendar, go there now, set it aside. We'll talk about, we'll make sure that everybody's got the ability that wants to go to be there. We're working with directors to make sure that the offices have what they need in order to make it happen. And so we welcome everybody and look forward to that exciting day. Thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Danny. I've heard great things about the bowling event last year, and though I am no great bowler, I'm really looking forward to this year's as well. Next up, I'm going to ask Jenny to give us a quick update on City Manager Meetup.
Hello again. So the next City Manager Meetup will actually be June 18th. I don't think it's
that's my
May
typo.
18th. Okay.
Sorry, Jenny.
I just noticed that. So that will be June 18th. In the email that goes out to employees after the employee town hall, I just sent Mary Catherine and Maggie the updated employee event calendar for 2025. And it includes the city manager meetup dates along with city council breakfast dates. And so some of those still need to be determined in terms of location. It does have the dates on it though. So it won't be May 18th, it will be June 18th. And I will confirm the location with Wyatt, and some kind of snacks will be provided as well. So that will be the next city manager meetup.
Thank you so much, Jenny, for sharing that. And thank you all for being here today. Should you have any questions at all, please reach out and connect directly with those who presented today. As always, Maggie will wrap all of this up and send it out. And as always, it's available on the P Drive. Until then, see you next time. Have a great day.